Hey guys, y'all know this one. Everybody get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet, yeah, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody that you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody that you meet. Let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Sing it, Jimmy. That's always a fun song, yeah? All right, so hi everybody. Hello again. Those of you who are here for the town hall, hello again. Long time no see, and those who just joining us, welcome. Nice to see you all. I'm Reverend Lee Alvarado. So we're going to do something a little different. We say this together. Let's say our vision. We are a powerful spiritual community, lovingly committed to a world of acceptance, compassion, peace, and joy. And our mission, to gather together, to express love, practice radical acceptance and inclusion, and to connect with one another and spirit. Beautiful. So I'm going to bring up, we have Christine Roth, who is on platform with me this evening. She's holding us all in prayer. She's going to walk us through, she's going to start with a prayer, and then she's going to walk us through a meditation. So settle back, go within, as we begin with an opening prayer.
So I just close my eyes and settle in. Awakening that space in my heart and my mind to the presence of the one power, the one spirit, the one space that is unconditional love. It is that thing that I call God. Knowing that this presence is absolutely the only presence, for it is the creator of absolutely everything. And every one of us has our being in it, for it is in each and every one of us. It is around us. It experiences and expresses life through us and as us. And we are so melded together as one. There's absolutely no way to separate ourselves from it. And what I know for this evening is that, that we settle in this space of love, that we allow ourselves to unfold and embrace that unconditional love that spirit is. That we join together this evening in this community as love, that we recognize that we come here to hear the music and Reverend Leah's words and our teachers, that we come here to experience and express that presence of love. That we know that that ever available love is absolutely unfolding throughout this service this evening. It is in us. It is sitting in the chair next to us. It is in those folks who join us online, in that presence of that service there. That unconditional love just wraps us and enfolds us as we allow ourselves to give and express that during this time together. So I give great thanks for this expression of love right here, right now, through these words, through this time together, through the knowing and the unfolding of Spirit in this very moment as I release these words to law, knowing that that presence of love just breathes with us right here, right now. And if you would like to claim this for yourself, please do so in joining me by singing. And so it is. Amen. So just get comfortable in your chair. Begin to connect with your breath. Just breathing in and breathing out. Allow the world to just slow down and fade away gently as you focus on your breathing. In and out. Allow yourself to enjoy this relaxation and feel the spaciousness of this moment. Feel the presence of the divine surrounding you, and feel it in your heart center. As you breathe in and breathe out, know that you are one in this divine presence. Begin to imagine a light emanating from your heart. Begin to allow it to grow from your heart center and move throughout your body with its warm and loving presence. Feel it move through your chest and into your neck and head. And feel it flow down into your arms and your hands and your fingers. You feel it in your torso and your pelvis. Moves into your legs and your calves and shins. And finally out your feet and toes. Just let this light flow effortlessly throughout your body. Place your hands on your heart and visualize the light pouring from your heart into your hands. And know that you now hold the power to shine the light of the divine into the world. Notice how this feels, just to connect and be one. Now open your hands and in your mind's eye, see yourself holding the light. And watch as the light begins to float and dissipate into the air. As you release your light into the world. You cannot see it, but it becomes one with the light of the person next to you, and the person behind you, and the person in front of you. As it moves through this space, through this city, through our country, and through the world. You may place your hands back into your lap. As you remember that you are the light in this world. So I invite you to begin to bring your attention and awareness back into this time, in this space. And as I ring the bell, you may open your eyes.
This song's called I Hear Them All. I hear the crying of the hungry in the deserts where they're wandering. They're crying out for heaven's own benevolence upon them. I hear destructive power prevailing. I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the sounds of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper. All the crimes and acquisition turn to air and ash and vapor, and the rattle of the shackles far beyond emancipators, and the lowliest together in their songs. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. While you sit and whistle Dixie with your money and your power, I can hear the flowers growing in the rubble of the towers. I hear leaders quit their lying. I hear babies quit their crying. I hear soldiers quit their dying, but it all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the tender words from Zion. I hear Noah's waterfall. I hear the gentle Lamb of Judah sleeping at the feet of Buddha, and the prophets from Elijah to the old Paiute Waka take their places at the table when they're called. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. Yes.
Amazing, Jimmy. Thank you, thank you. All right, so what are we talking about today? The universe never plays favorites. You like that topic? That's taken right out of the Science in Line textbook. I saw it and I thought, I'm going to do a talk on this. So that's how that came about. But before we start, let's say together, let's harmonize our hearts and our minds, placing our hands on our hearts, taking a deep breath. And let's say together, care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. One more time. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. So, when I was growing up, I didn't grow up with any religion. Anybody in here not grow up with any religion at all? It's pretty rare, I think. My parents, they weren't atheists. They believed in God, but I just didn't grow up with any religion. And yet I still remember thinking that if I'm a good little girl, then I'm going to go to heaven. I'm going to get rewarded somehow. And if I'm a bad little girl, I'm somehow going to get punished. Where did that come from? I didn't hear that from any church. I didn't hear it from my parents. I think it's one of those things that's just embedded in the collective consciousness. Yeah? Anybody else grow up with that message or hear that? Yeah. Yeah, and so, but we know that God doesn't play favorites. We know that in our movement, and yet it's still out there. So the divine really showers love upon all of us, no matter whether we are a good person or a not so good person. I hate to say bad, but yeah, but the divine showers love upon all of us equally. Ernest Holmes said, "The universe is impersonal. It gives alike to all. It is no respecter of persons. It values each alike. Its nature is to impart, and ours is to receive." So thinking about the nature of the universe, the nature of God, its nature is to give. Its nature is to create. There are certain universal laws that we have to abide by. And if we plant an apple seed into the ground, it's going to grow up to be an apple tree. It's not going to grow to be an orange tree or a pear tree or some other tree. It's going to grow to be an apple tree. If we mix the colors red and green, red and blue, not red and green, red and blue, it creates purple, right? And it doesn't matter who's mixing the paints. Whoever's doing it, doesn't matter who they are, it's still going to turn out to be purple. So there's these laws that exist, and we can work with them if we choose, and we're going to get a certain outcome if we are aware of what those laws are. So Ernest Holmes said this: nature seems to await our comprehension of her, and since she is governed by immutable laws, the ignorance of which excuses no one from their effects, the bondage of humanity must be a result of our ignorance of the true nature of reality. So what happens when we are moving through the world and we're planting seeds? So, every thought is like a seed, if you can think of it that way. Every thought is really a prayer. So we're planting these seeds, and let's say one of those seeds, we want to create abundance in our life, more abundance in our life, more prosperity. So we affirm it and we pray about it. And so we're planting those seeds. But then we're also over here saying in a whole, maybe later that day or the next day or another moment, we're saying, no, I can't afford that. Well, no, I think I'll probably have to work till I'm 80 years old because I won't be able to retire before that. Or no, I can't really do that because I just don't have the money. So it's as if we are planting seeds to grow an apple tree. We're over here planting, we're saying, yes, I want this apple tree, I want this abundance in my life. But then really what we're doing is we're planting an orange tree instead. The orange tree is like, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's that we're worthy of it. I don't think it's possible. So the universe is getting these mixed messages. The universe takes whatever is planted into it and produces a certain result. And it's based on our repeated thoughts. So a repeated thought becomes a belief. That's how the belief, once it becomes a belief, it gets really anchored in. And so that's what we have to be aware of, because repeated thoughts, we all have them. It's a human thing to have thoughts come and go. But when it turns into a belief, now it's locked in. So what are the beliefs, if you think about your own life, what are the beliefs that you're holding about your relationships, about your career, your financial situation, your future? So think about the thoughts, but think particularly about the beliefs that you're holding. And when I talk about manifestation, when I talk about the planting of the things that we want in our life, it's always important to say, I think, that not every thought creates something. Many people early in their spiritual path, they think that every single thought I have is going to turn into something. And that's just not true. But then we start to become paranoid that every single thought is going to turn into something. Oh my God, I said something negative. I have to cancel. Remember when that was a thing? We all kind of said that, cancel. Yeah, so really it's our predominant thoughts that we have to be aware of. So if you think about your life, what is your overall consciousness? What is your overall focus and attention and attitude and beliefs and thoughts? Where are they focused? That's what we have to be aware of, because we can't very well say to somebody who has a serious illness, well, it was your thoughts that caused that. That's a serious misuse of our principles and our teaching. Now, things happen. There is a mystery in a certain respect. There's things that happen that we don't have any explanation for. But we can't always say, oh, it's because my thoughts. That's why that happened. Not necessarily. But our thoughts are powerful, yes. But it's our predominant thoughts that we want to be focused on. The universe is simply matching our energy. It simply says, okay, if this is where you're at, then I will give you more of that. It's just matching it. It's the law. It's impersonal. So our job is to be aware of what is the predominant thing that we are putting out there to the world. and it will respond to us. The areas in your life where things are flowing, we all have those areas where things just flow. We don't have to think about it. It just comes so easily. Now, you're not consciously focusing on those things, but on some level, you have a belief that says that whatever that is, it comes to me. People that have a lot of abundance in their life, they're not consciously focusing on it. They just know. They just know that they're going to have abundance and it's never going to run out. And then there's other areas of our life where we struggle, and we all have those areas too. It's like the kink, there's like a kink in the hose. It's the flow is not quite moving through the hose. And so how do we get the flow moving again? How do we get that flow, just like we have it in this other area of our life, how do we get it in this area of our life? It all has to do with our consciousness. God isn't intentionally keeping what we desire from us. It's not as if God is behind the scenes like Santa Claus, deciding who's been naughty or nice and giving things only to those who've been nice. It doesn't work that way. And so energy flows where attention goes. We've all heard that. And it's true. Again, what is our predominant consciousness? What is the energy that we are predominantly sending out? Ernest Holmes said, "We are surrounded by an intelligent force and substance from which all things come. It takes form through the impulse of our creative belief. The law we did not create, this law we cannot change. We can use it correctly only as we understand and use it according to its nature." So its nature is to just receive whatever we plant into it. Our job is to be aware of what it is we desire most. What changes do we want to make in our life? What shifts do we want to make in our own consciousness? What shifts do we want to make in our families, in our financial area, health, whatever it may be? Our job is to be clear about what those are. Ernest Holmes is famous for saying, change your thinking, change your life. But I think a better way of saying that is change your beliefs, change your life. Because our thoughts, yes, are powerful, but again, our beliefs are even more powerful. And if you're not clear about what your beliefs are, then find somebody, a practitioner, somebody to work with you to pull those out and figure out what those beliefs are. What is blocking you from being able to achieve the thing that you want to achieve in your life? I guarantee it goes back to some belief that often goes back to when we were a little kid. So uncovering what those are. And the universe says yes. It just says yes. That's its job. So it's a co-creative partnership in a way, right? It's a co-creative partnership between us and the divine. And our consciousness is key. In quantum physics, they talk about the observer effect. So there's a link between thought and matter. When we focus on a particular topic, something in our life, when we focus on it, it creates a particular outcome. That's the observer effect. So it's been proven scientifically that whatever we focus on brings us more of that. So if we want more joy, we focus on manifesting more joy. We want more peace, we focus on more peace. We want more struggle and strife. We talk about how bad our things aren't working for us and how this isn't working and how this person is driving me bananas and how this is not going up right over here. And we have those human moments and we all do that. But it's good to catch ourselves. What's the area for you that really gets you going? Just pick one. What's one area in your life that, man, whatever I try to do, I just can't. I just can't see this person in the way that I know I can. Or I can't see the situation in the way that I know that I can. Dr. Joe Dispenza said this about consciousness. And I think this was such an amazing description of meditation. How many of you meditate on a regular basis? Okay, good number of hands. So he said this. When you go inward and you do it properly, there will come a moment when you become nobody. You become no one, no thing, nowhere, and no time. The moment you disconnect from your body, your environment, and time, you forget about your identity. That's the moment your pure consciousness merges with the greater consciousness. The brain and the heart become so synchronized that the person feels more like energy and less like matter. And they feel connected to something greater. How many of you have experienced that when you have meditated? It's pretty extraordinary. Yeah? So when we are in that deeper state of meditation, the hose unkinks itself. The flow begins again. So if there's an area in your life where that hose is all wound up and kinked, that's what to take into your meditation. Allow yourself to just drop into that and release all connection to your body, your identity, all your beliefs, your thoughts, all of it. Take it in, and then when you come out of it, now you're in this extraordinary place with which to create. There's no attachment. There's no contradictory thought that says, this isn't possible, I'm not good enough, that person's driving me crazy. None of that will, I promise you, will be there for you at the end of your meditation. Now, for those who are starting meditation or new at meditation, it takes some time to get there. It does take consistent practice. And so you may have 1 minute where you're feeling totally connected, like what he's talking about. And then the next time, 2 minutes, and then 3, and then 5, and then 10. But just start. Because what's available to you by doing that, you shift, everything shifts. Your consciousness shifts. Your connection between your heart and your head shifts. The way that you see the world shifts. The way you interact with others shifts. Michael Beckwith said this: what we see with our eyes and hear with our ears are influenced by our thoughts and our beliefs. Our thought forms are masquerading as the truth, and we think it's real. So what he is saying is that everything that we see with our eyes, we go out into the world and we interact with somebody, even just to look at a tree, is influenced by our experience, is influenced by our beliefs, is influenced by our thoughts. And we look at these experiences and we interact with people and we think that's real. But we all have our own prism, right? We all have our own lens that we are seeing everything through. And all of that, experience, attitude, thoughts, beliefs, all of it impacts what and how we see something. So if we're willing to do the meditation that Joe Dispenza is talking about, the more that we commit to that practice, the more that our perception shifts. Suddenly, we're not struggling with that area anymore, because now we're able to see that person or see that situation in a new way. He talked about in this video that I saw him he talked about how when our mind and our heart is connected in those spaces of meditation, that there is an energy that extends out from our body by 10 feet. It's like our consciousness just extends out. And we're vibrating at such a frequency that there's no space for all the negative thoughts to come in. And so when we move through the world with this consciousness, this way of being, imagine what's possible for our life. for your life? What's the consciousness that you want to take into the world? The consciousness that I've been holding since I took on the senior minister role is that beautiful people, abundance, support are flowing into my life. Now, I've only been in this role for 3 weeks, and I can just say that as I've been knowing that and holding that consciousness, that is what is showing up in my world. More support, more prosperity, more just amazing people are showing up to support me and to surround me and to encourage me. And I just keep affirming it, and it keeps showing up. So what is it that you want to bring to your life? What's the consciousness that you would like to walk through the world with? So think about that for a moment. There's a school in the UK for children ages 6 to 12 called the ICU Academy. I thought this was fascinating. So these kids, they blindfold them with this really thick blindfold where they can't see anything. And yet these kids are still able to play soccer. They know exactly when the ball is coming. If a color is held out in front of them, they know exactly what color it is. They can read books out loud, word for word. They're able to ride bikes. How are they able to do that? Isn't that extraordinary? It's because they are using their consciousness. They're not using their 5 senses, clearly, but they know exactly what is in front of them just by tuning into their consciousness. Now, there's a reason it's focused on kids, because from ages 6 to 12, their logical mind isn't engaged. They're not teaching adults this. This is a program for children. But when I watched this, I thought, well, what is possible for us? Couldn't we get to that place where we could move through the world with our consciousness and not be so living in this, using our 5 senses? What would be possible for our life if we could live that way? Something to think about. Imagine a world, our kids, and those of you that have kids, I don't have children, but our kids are taught to be critical thinkers. And I think that yes, that's important. Of course it is. We need to be critical thinkers in the world. But imagine if schools also taught our children how to tap into their consciousness, how to tap into that pure consciousness that exists within them, how to tune into their heart and listen to what their heart is telling them. Imagine the world that we would live in. Some of us operate more from the intellectual side, and some of us are more heart-centered. And there's nothing wrong with one or the other, but it's noticing within yourself, which is more dominant for me, my intellectual self or my heart? And, I think that's one of the biggest struggles we have as humans is connecting the head and the heart. And Joe Dispenza talks about in his meditation, it naturally happens through the meditation. When we meditate and we're in that deeper state, it naturally happens. And then as soon as we finish the meditation, okay, what I got to cook tonight? Okay, tomorrow I got to be here. I have a meeting at 6. Okay, and the head starts going. So if you find yourself that you are more identified with one or the other, sit with that. Okay, if we're more identified with our heart, then sometimes we're not as grounded. And if we're more in our head, then we can't connect with the divine in the same way, because truthfully, you can't connect with God through the intellect. You can only connect with God through the heart. We can't think our way to God. We can only feel our way to God. So whether it's a comfortable place for you or not, it's something to work with. And again, I'm selling our practitioners here. I haven't done that in a while, but our practitioners are these amazing beings, and I certainly can support as well in helping us to recognize our beliefs, recognize the thought patterns that aren't serving us, helping us connect our head and our heart, helping us to drop in deeper. Last week I talked about the pure soul and how the pure soul is this space within us, this energy within us that is the seer, that is the knower, and the observer. And another way of saying it is that's the pure consciousness that is within us. So imagine what is possible for your life if you are deliberately connecting to that pure soul, to that pure consciousness within you, in your meditations, even right before you go to sleep. That's another good time to do this, because the mind is tired from the day and it's not as likely to interfere. So imagine what would be possible for your life if you begin to connect with that greater consciousness on a regular basis. If we're willing to create from that place, if we're planting seeds from that place, the universe just enthusiastically says yes. So let's join together to create a community that we love, to create a life that is extraordinary, not just a life that is good, right? If I asked each of you, you'd probably say, yeah, I have a good life. My life's good. But what about an extraordinary life? And that's going to look different for each of you. What would an extraordinary life look like and feel like? We can create whatever it is that we desire. Isn't that cool to know? There's not some God saying, well, no, you're not a good person, or you screwed that up, or you made that mistake 10 years ago with that, ex-partner, so no. No, it's not personal. It's up to us what we want to create. I think that is the coolest thing ever. You're all looking at me like, Are you excited? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we then can create, not just as we create these things for our own lives, you know what happens? Is then we create it for the world. We give permission for others to do the same in their life. On some level, that energy connects with all beings across the planet, and suddenly we're shifting the consciousness of the entire planet. And it all starts with us. It starts right here. As we shift our consciousness, as we do our practices, as we commit to meditation in a deeper way, as we focus on connecting the head and the heart, and we make deliberate choices to pay attention to, where's my consciousness at right now? Where's my thoughts going? What are my beliefs? As we do that work for ourselves, it then transforms and shifts the consciousness of the world. Are you up for that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's move into prayer. Practitioners, please stand in high consciousness if you are here in this space. And so we just know in this moment the beauty and the grace of Spirit that moves through our life and guides us as we take each step. I am knowing that whatever area of our life where we are struggling, I am knowing that that divine essence of God is right there by our side, walking alongside us, supporting us, reminding us that we have this amazing tool called meditation, that we have this amazing tool that allows us to connect even deeper with that part of ourselves, that pure consciousness. And I'm knowing that as we take time to do that, that we are then going out into the world and we have a whole new perception of our life, a whole new perception of the people that we interact with every day, a whole new perception of the jobs that we go to every day, a whole new perception of the entire planet and all that is going on in the world. that we are then able to see the world through this place of love, through this place of compassion, through this place of connection and forgiveness. And so I am so grateful to know this truth and to claim this truth for each one of us. For I know and declare that there is so much potential within each one of us, that energy and that vibration is filling the space and overflowing and going out into the community and out into the city and out into the entire United States and the world. That this energy and this vibration is transformative, and it is right here within each one of us. And so we say thank you. We say thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life. For I know that something extraordinary is happening here. Something extraordinary is happening within this community called CSL Northern Colorado. And something extraordinary is happening within our lives. And so I release this, knowing it is so, knowing that as I let it go, the universe says yes, because it cannot do anything else but say yes. It gladly receives it, takes it, and makes it so. And so let's declare together, and so it is. Amen.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
So we are supported entirely by our community. So grateful for all that you give and all the support that you give to this beloved community called CSL NoCo. So there's a number of ways that you can give. Some of you know these already. You can visit our website. You can text the word give to the number there you see on the screen, 970-614-4226. Or you can mail your gift to our office. So let's say our offering affirmation together. Placing your hand on your heart and just whatever it is that you desire to give to this community, whether it's money, whether it's love, time, talent, treasure, just holding that in your heart. And let's say together, Spirit's abundance flows through me. Joyfully, I share my good. Thank you so much.
I think y'all know this one pretty well. It's a Ricky Byers record song. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Sing it with me if you know it. Blessed always, for the arms triumphant, that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant, that we rest in God and say Amen. That we rest in God and say Amen. That we rest in God and say
And so we just know that what is contained in here is blessed. We just know that this money, that this energy, that this love that has come through today, we just know that it is blessing this beloved community, and it is going out and inspiring all those around us, that this energy is blessed by the divine that always says yes. And so it is. Okay, so we have a couple of announcements. So I'm teaching a class called Loving Yourself. How many of you feel like you can love yourself a little bit more? Anybody in the room? Okay. Now I'm teaching this. It doesn't mean that, I love everything about myself. I mean, I'm learning just like you are, but I created this class several years ago, and it's a sweet little class. It's 3 weeks. And so I have some good stuff planned for us. So if you'd like to join me, it starts on September 1st. You can register in the newsletter, or you can actually take your phone, and there's the QR code. It will take you right there, and you can register. So if you're interested in joining me, it's going to be here. And again, it's 3 weeks, and you can register if you'd like. I mentioned during the town hall that we need more volunteers. So there is, if you weren't here, there's a sign up in the back. And Doug, where's Doug? There's Doug. He's waving in the back. So if you have questions, he's our volunteer coordinator. Thank you, Doug. And join our Save a team. So thank you for that. So I'm going to benedict us out here. But I'd like everybody to stand for our benediction, and then we're going to sing the peace song. So if you're comfortable, no pressure, but if you want to grab the hand of somebody next to you, feel free to do that. And I will read us our benediction and just receive the words, and then we don't have the lyrics to the peace song, but I think you probably all know the song, so sing along if you'd like. So may you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed, and may you be a source of healing for all beings. So it is.
And yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.